Okay, and we are live. We would like to welcome you guys to another iteration of the U.N.I Anime Review Podcast. Another week, another anime. Today we are going to start with a new sort of addition to the structure of the U.N.I. Sort of piggybacking off of our discussion earlier this week on our Twitter. So be sure to follow us. We will be creating spaces on Twitter so we can talk to you and see you guys' input on some of these gateway animes to sort of get, or what got you into anime, or what are some animes that you think would get other people into watching. So as a group, shortly before we went live, we picked a couple to talk about, such as Demon Slayer and Jujutsu Kaisen. There are plenty more anime. There's more animes than days in a year. So, let's just get into it. So,
understatement.
Starting off with Demon Slayer.
Yo, I'm back. I apologize for my
It's no problem, man. So Demon Slayer is a gateway anime. It is definitely a very
But what's going on though, y'all? I can give it to both sides, boys and girls.
Yeah, I was gonna say when it first came out, I did hear a lot of talking about it, but lately I hear a lot of females talk about Demon Slayer. Like, they love that shit.
Yeah, it's definitely.
I ain't really see no discrimination between either side.
No, I'm just saying at first, of course the dudes is gonna go hype over it.
Nah, I'm not responding to yours. I'm not responding to you. I'm not, bro. I'm not. I wasn't. My God.
But long story short, Demon Slayer is a newer anime. I think it came out when did it start? In 2019? What the original? Or is it? Okay, the manga, I know for sure came out in 2016. I think the anime started in 2019. So, with some of it's probably one of the more up to date as far as animation, and definitely a lot of good stuff to look at. It's all about honestly just
at this point it might be it's striving for number one.
Would you take it that far and say that it's become part of the new big three, or is it still a big three? Is it just
no? I was just saying as far as animation.
Okay. I can definitely see that. It's definitely taking over the AMV world as of late. I can see. You got a lot of interesting character designs, fake paint and whatnot, especially, being demons. And I feel like the supernatural is what really got me into watching anime. And this has definitely done something unique as far as the power systems and scaling, how things go.
Okay.
Yeah. So demons. Like earlier in my youth of watching anime, probably the first thing I started watching that got me interested in the supernatural probably Inuyasha. Right next to Yu Yu Hakusho, and the way that Demon Slayer sort of makes demons more of a central staple in the anime is a whole lot different than how Inuyasha would do it. Because Inuyasha is kind of like, hey, I'm a demon and I kill demons. sort of
I don't
like
know. In
how
Inuyasha,
Blade kills vampires.
I don't know. In Inuyasha, to me, it was depending on the demon. It was more like they was fighting literal gods at points in time.
I guess, yeah, you have
Wait, what?
Inuyasha's dad was like a god in that realm.
Yeah, I can
Relative.
definitely agree.
I mean,
But yeah, I mean, he's a strong dude. Yeah, one of the strongest, if not the strongest.
I mean, I probably couldn't say that had I not.
But then again, if he that was the case, he literally got killed by a human. So
I mean, I probably wouldn't be saying this if I hadn't seen the sequel to Inuyasha. I mean, they kind of went into
his
weird.
weapons made him a god. That's what it was.
It wasn't even his weapon, because I think the
I was saying
weapons
the
that
weapons that he
Inuyasha and Sesshomaru have is like made from.
Not all of
made
his
from,
weapons
like,
was
antique
his
or
like.
something.
No. Well, that was only the Sega, and maybe the Tensei, but not all of his weapons.
Wait, whose weapons?
Which is not even still his swords aren't even his full arsenal. He had the one for heaven, earth, and hell or purgatory.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say that he was a god, but he was definitely like a goat. He was like Jordan of the feudal feudal Japan sort of time period that Kagome would go back to. But yeah, that's pretty much Demon Slayer without giving too much of a spoiler. So so you can go and watch that and enjoy it, and tell your people about it so they can also get into anime. Another one is
they'll break down a lot of
Jujutsu Kaisen. How do you guys feel about that one?
see.
I don't know. It's kind of
Like
hard.
I'm actually too looking at it as like a younger person, like almost pretty much how I started off. If I were to get my younger self into some shit, or just everyone I know, but just when they first started, not so much adult-ish, but beginning, because you got too much. I don't know, there's too much. You already got your likes and your dislikes and prejudices, biasness.
So you would recommend Jujutsu Kaisen to like an intermediate anime watcher, like an expert who's been doing it for years, or what?
Intermediate, I'll say intermediate. A beginner intermediate.
Okay. And what about Demon Slayer? Would that be the same? Is that like beginner or more beginner intermediate?
That could really be beginner. Because it's not,
Okay. And since we got the beginners and the intermediates covered, let's not leave out us experts. Either A, you can just continue with the U.N.I as we review new animes each week, or is there like a particular anime that you just say, hey, all the experts needs to watch this to say that you're an expert of anime?
I wouldn't say, just attention span, certain concepts, connecting them. If it's already ambiguous purposefully, kind of have to. A bit of smarts have to kind of take into play, and really like a lot of focus, and rereading some shit. I never get anything off the first go, personally.
I don't know. I feel like an expert in anime is somebody who watched a multitude of anime in different genres. Like, I feel like that would be
that could be, yeah.
I wouldn't even say that. Because
think about it though. You explore every possible genre through different shows. I mean, you can't at that point. You should know what you like and what you don't like. You know?
But they're
We could
constantly putting out
definitely all
new
agree that that's
anime.
expert in variety.
They definitely have new
So
anime
what do
like
you think
every
takes
day, if
place?
not every week. So like, there's always new stuff, and you won't know what to watch if it's new if you never watched it.
I don't know. It's kind
So
of like that idea Pat gave, like just going down an alphabetical list of shit. Like,
which we've already done. So if you missed that, go back to our older videos. We did an A through Z list, including some number titles of anime. So if you need a A through Z list to start off on, definitely go back to some of our older videos, watch some of the other anime that we have reviewed in the past. But I wouldn't necessarily say expert is somebody that has watched something in every genre, because it's just way too much anime. Who has time for that? I would say an expert is somebody who understands the anime tropes, or may have to
True.
deal
Yeah, the
with
majority.
some of the sexism or other tropes that are like rampant in Japanese media, and not take offense to it. Because
I
especially in
mean,
this
you get
day and
that.
time,
I mean, would you get that from the variety of genre?
there's some that are a little bit more like soft on it. Like, I'm just going to give an example now. Food Wars. I loved it. I liked it, but I'm not going to be playing it at full blast volume when everybody walks in the room, just because of some of the sexual innuendos, or how they sexualize, something as simple as food, or how the food will just knock your clothes off all day.
Oh, this is a delicacy.
But it's definitely a top tier anime in my list, because it also teaches you something. Most people, when they watch animes, we're not really like
Yeah.
5-star chefs.
Look, I'm gonna say this about Food Wars. I'm not supporting that shit they be doing with food and niggas be having damn near orgasms eating some shit. But hear me out. If you was eating nasty ass shit for about a good 2 or 3 weeks, and you finally get a good home cooked meal that actually touches your soul, I ain't saying you gonna have an orgasm, but damn it, you gonna feel something. Like, they exaggerate the fuck out of it. I mean, there is some relative realness in the shit that they do. Because good food can't make you have certain emotions.
Yeah.
You gotta think about
It
somebody.
could bring back certain stuff.
You gotta think about somebody who's homeless. They eat nothing but bullshit every day. Then you finally get a home cooked meal. That shit might make that nigga cry.
And it might not necessarily not even be the food. It's just a gesture, or the the whole spirit behind it all.
But a lot of times, in anime, they like to
look. They've been doing it since the '90s, bro.
All anime watchers eat ramen all the fucking time. So it shows you something different than just the main character always either preparing and or eating ramen, and it sort of can get you interested into.
Nah, bro, it's rice balls, bro.
I just thought that was a good example, saying how like some anime characters may not have ever had food. Because look how Sasha reacted when she had lobster for the first time.
I'm telling you, bro, that bitch thought she was like, about to have an orgasm.
But I definitely can see what you guys are saying. But a lot of emotions, feelings, memories are linked to smells or tastes. So I definitely can see how that you can have people have that connection to food, which is why I like it so much.
I said I'm not supporting that exaggerated pervertedness they bring with the food. Bro. They have a point.
But if a chick cook good enough, then she may just get this dick.
That's what I'm saying. The main character, that motherfucker walked in there and said, "What you gonna make? I'm gonna make eggs over rice." This dude said, "What?"
and if they the best eggs over rice you ever had, I'm taking the food down and then you shortly afterwards.
I don't know how.
That could be a fucking visual interpretation, bro.
I don't know how that nigga did it, but the fact that this nigga had like gelatin butter melting on the fucking eggs, I'm like, yo, what the fuck is this? How do you do that? Turned into Salt Bay for 30 seconds, pouring fucking butter on eggs and rice.
But yeah, I think that's enough for the whole Gateway anime talk for today. We've already spoke about it a little bit early in the week. If you missed that on Twitter, be sure to follow us, and that space is recorded, so you can just go back and listen to it. So with that being said, how's everyone's week been?
It's been a week.
Been a good one.
It's definitely good to hear. You know, I'm coming into new money, it seems like every day, so that's always a good thing for me. So more
Amen.
Another opportunity showed itself this week, and I think that's a good week for me.
Amen.
So
I just got on with Delta, so my schedule actually is gonna change. To the latest I'm gonna get off is 10 o'clock.
Okay, well, new money all around. Let's go for it. That's definitely good.
Opportunity for a new promotion came up. It's not a guarantee, but my supervisor's been saying that he's pretty confident that everyone on our team will get it, just because of the way the company has been making changes and has been wanting to keep certain people with potential licensed and move them upward in the company instead of making letting people go and then scrambling before open enrollment period to try to get people trained. Feeling pretty good about it. Wasn't the greatest month performance wise at this job, but it's just been like a lot of growing pains and just having to tighten up on the basics and stuff.
So how do you like selling niggas insurance?
I actually do not sell people policies. I'm actually a funding representative. So anytime people's policies or like their pensions status change and like they're wondering where their money is, they're trying to get reimbursed for stuff they bought and, just stuff like that. Most calls I get is, where's my money? Or, somehow, some way I told y'all I didn't want to cancel my plan, but it got canceled. And now I'm not getting my $2,500 a year. And it's your fault because I'm talking to you.
I want my
money. Like, all right.
It's my
Man,
And
hey, man,
it's
some
my
of these folks
money.
don't know.
And that's why they gave the black guy that position. Because
I got two screens. I got a Switch OLED that can sit upright. And hey, man, I tell them folks, hey, I understand that, and that is, I'm truly sorry you've had to experience that. Just give me about 3 to 5 minutes so I can research that, and I'll play Smash Bros for about 5 minutes.
that is definitely a blessing to have something like that.
Hell no.
I could not do customer service because somebody called me asking where their money at. I'm asking the same question because I never get paid enough to deal with your bullshit. But
you take some patience. You take some patience. But shit, if you can watch One Piece, you can do customer service.
That is a truth if I ever heard it.
Yeah, that sucks.
I think Cat is having some technical difficulties as per usual, so we're gonna need him to leave out and come back in. Well, he's here, and this is his week, where we'll be reviewing the Silver Guardian. If you haven't got it by now, on the video description.
I like this one a lot. I'm not gonna lie. It had a lot of missing elements in it by the end of it, but it kind of ended on a cliffhanger. So I can still see where it could develop, but I definitely feel like, it has that vibe of an overarching storyline, but the formula of kind of like an episodic, fun, day-to-day adventure anime type of thing. But like what other anime had that feel back then? Kind of like Shaman King or Rave Master, like shows like that kind of had that same feel. Like there was an overarching storyline, but every episode didn't really feel like it was getting to that. Well, I'd say a lot of people would say One Piece feels like that at times, especially in those first 200 episodes.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. It definitely had a lot of slice of life elements to it, even though it was a isekai.
Yeah, like it, and then the first 3 episodes, you really don't know where it's going with the setup. It does a good job to set up like the immediate world, the immediate conflict, and like the two central characters as far as why things are happening or why we're following the story. And I like how it sets them up. It's pretty believable. It's not like one of those random, guy shonen protagonist saves girl and now she's just in love with him. Like it was actually a believable dynamic between them. And I didn't feel like the twists at the end, which I'm not going to spoil for anybody watching. I didn't feel like the twist was forced. I didn't feel like it was unbelievable or anything. Like I felt like it was well played on, and the breadcrumbs were definitely there. The powers and the fights were definitely interesting too. I think I heard y'all saying at one point that there were times where he felt like very Mary Sue, very just like randomly godlike. But there were also other times when it was like, all right, he needs teamwork. He can't just do it himself. But honestly, I give it like a solid 9 out of 10 for like that standard of anime back then. I'm hoping it gets into a third season. I'd be excited for a third season.
Ooh, that's definitely a high score for something that you can peek out the results in. But yeah, due to there's a lot of potential with this one. I can agree to that aspect. So if they do continue it, then yeah, it definitely can drop some heat. But based off what I've seen so far, it's a lot of missed. A lot of missed opportunity there. So definitely, I won't give it something as high as that, but it definitely was good for what it's worth. And the best part about it, it was short as fuck. I watched 2 seasons of anime in 4 hours, not counting the intro and the outro.
Hey, we were supposed to watch the second season too?
That was only if you wanted to. We were only required to watch the first.
Okay.
The first season was like 12 episodes. Each episode like 15 minutes, including the intro and the outro. But they did have like a YouTube posting where they cut up all the intros, outros of the middle shows and just put the intro at the beginning and the outro the last one, and they put it all together, made it into a movie. So that was
okay.
I got through both of them in like the past
convenient
3.5 hours. Honestly, like a lot of times when I'm binge watching anime, I'll like watch that shit at like times 1.25 speed. It ain't like no big deal, especially if it's in English dub.
And then, well, if you did that, then you watch it in 3 hours.
Damn. Picking up the speed. Shit.
Kudos.
What the fuck? Never heard nobody do no shit.
Plus ultra.
I had bullshitted a lot of so I had to rush.
Yami would be proud of you, my boy.
Hey, shit, I got a project due for somebody tomorrow. I'm gonna wait till I get off of work and hopefully something awaken in me.
That just shows you it's boring. If you wait till the last minute to watch the anime, it's not as good as you thought it was gonna be, and it wasn't drawing you in to really watch it. That's honestly just how I feel about it.
It had a strong first 3 episodes. That was the thing. It had a strong first 3 episodes, and that just kept me around long enough to like see what at least the conclusion of, you know, at least the star-crossed lovers dynamic was going to be. And even then, I didn't even get to see what the conclusion of that was by the end of season 2. So, I mean, if they had kind of put a wrapped up bow on that, I would have probably given it a lower score, honestly, because that would have not left enough room for a lot of the other plot points and missed opportunities, like you said. But since it still seems kind of open ended, I still think there could be like, you know, more explanation on some of those, you know, some of those things like the powers or like, you know, the companies themselves and the bad guys behind the companies. Because honestly, I felt like the main villain, well, what looked like the main villain, the pink haired chick, I feel like she just came out of nowhere. Like really just came out of nowhere, and then she was just in the game too. And no lie, at one point I was getting kind of like whiplash. I didn't understand if they were in the game world or the real world. And then at one point the little girl had a clone, and I was like, okay, so she's still there, she's just using a clone. But sometimes it felt like they were going back and forth between, you know, the game world and the real world. It was throwing me off.
Yeah, that definitely happened a lot in those first 3 episodes, because I feel like the first 3 episodes showed you an ending before you even knew where it was going.
Yeah.
So I feel like for you to get an answer to a lot of those questions that you have, you got to go back and watch those first 3 episodes, because, I mean, in the first 3 episodes, she's free and she's not in captivity, but she also knows that he's out protecting or saving or whatever the fuck he's supposed to be doing in the game world, or whatever she feels.
And that's why I was saying it had a strong first 3 episodes, because like just that alone was like, all right, I'll watch the rest and see how at least this little dynamic plays out, or how it gets to this point. And there's a reason why I'm, you know, excited for a 3rd season. If they announce a 3rd season in 2, 5, 10 years, shit, I'll be here for it.
Yeah, it'll definitely take a second for me to get back on it. But the fight scenes were pretty dope. It was kind of bad to see him just down bad and not know how to use his fucking powers, and no one told him that he wasn't an orphan for real.
Yeah,
but that was like Grandpa had all this money, but really let him struggle and work 12 jobs.
And well, you know what though, low key, I feel like he was trying to tell him how to do it in the beginning, but he turned the phone off too early. It happened really fast. I'm not sure if that was why he struggled, but I feel like he turned the phone off too quick, and he was distracted by something else.
Because he went down to go give old girl, to see if he can give the kidnappers some money. So
and then he couldn't even use. He couldn't even use. That's like having invested one of your college refund checks into Bitcoin, and you can't remember the unlock code to your phone. pretty much. You just be mad as hell.
But and before we go too far, spoiler alert. There you have it. This is an anime review podcast, so we've all watched it. If you haven't, don't watch this. Come back after you've seen the anime. We don't want you to, feel bad or left out on this podcast. But yeah, it definitely grew on me over the course of the anime, seeing some of the other stuff. But I had it stayed on him just being a workaholic and somehow also having time to play games, which I don't understand, because shit, I barely have time to play. I play video games. I barely have time as it is to play video games, working just one job.
Yeah, the fact that he was working multiple jobs and this nigga was a straight like champion gamer, that shit was. I'm sorry. That is one.
Would have been more believable if he had like some health problems or something like that. Like if he had like that Gara shit going on, this nigga got circums under his eyes and he don't have to sleep. He just tired. Like when the game ended, when he was walking all drunk, if he was walking like that during the daytime all the time, it'd be like a bit more believable.
My man's walking around here like he gets his 8 hours of sleep. Plus,
I mean, he does. He sleeps through class. That's where he gets his sleep from.
but he's smart though.
True.
That's what makes it unrealistic. How are you sleeping class?
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's not new. You could definitely do
Being
that.
educated in an American education system, do you really have to pay attention in class to be smart?
Hell
All
no.
right, I'm gonna shut up. But still,
That has some
you
truth
get
in
what
it.
the fuck I'm saying. So
Yeah, I
about to
definitely
say.
got that. But
We was part of a class of idiots that went into the AP English test and Christmas treed our scantrons.
hey, desperate times call for desperate measures. Just see your way through. You know,
No,
you
I
know the
remember
answer is
someone.
C.
I remember this girl. This girl cheated off my scantron, and we had different question combinations. I didn't realize this to the end of the test, so I didn't say a bitch ass thing. How about she get a higher score than me?
What the? Yes. Lady Luck wins again.
cheating doesn't turn out how you think it's supposed to.
Like that is literally luck. Like that's some
That's fucked up.
that's some one in 1 million ass shit.
I think she
I'm
just
gonna
has
say,
a
they
hell
do
of high
split up,
spectacles.
but you know, if it's like her test just so happened to be similar to yours, she lucked the fuck up. That's all I can say.
Yeah,
Either that or she put you into a genjutsu where you saw your book, but it was actually her book.
I learned that shit taking that. I learned that shit taking the SAT, bro. Yeah, they do give out different questions,
Oh yeah, they did that every day in college.
but like, if you think about the order of your class, somebody still got the same test as your ass.
facts.
And she just so happened to be sitting right next to your ass and had lucked up. But she would honestly, bro, she wouldn't have kept copies if her shit was, if your shit was totally different.
Hey, when niggas don't know shit, they don't know shit. So I'm pretty sure if she had no idea, any answer was better
If
than
she
nothing.
walked into that not knowing that shit, either she's stupid or she just didn't give a damn. I'm just saying.
Again, we were educated by an American education system. So
And crazy thing is, she make stupid money now.
I rest my case.
probably on OnlyFans, but
Maybe.
You know, I'm watching an interview. You know, I'm watching an interview of an OnlyFans. This bitch make $150K a month. Are you shitting me?
Hey, that's the power of that P.
That nigga said, "What do you do on there?" She said, "Everything."
UGK tried to tell us a long time ago. But hey, sex sells, and that just goes to prove it. You'll never know what a thirsty nigga is willing to do. Speaking of thirsty niggas, Cat, is your audio in yet?
You talking about cat? I thought he was about to talk about them two thirsty niggas that got finessed in the desert on Silver Guardian. Did y'all get that far?
Oh yeah,
That was hilarious.
that
Come
was.
on, they touched us with tentacles and slimed on us. I'm like, all right.
Let me out.
Classic.
Like, you can't be going and claiming that when it's actual girls getting goblin slayered over in another universe.
But that was a cool little way to like build up their money in the anime, and then it was all lost because the pink haired chick came and just fucked it up. And I would like more explanation of what the fuck her deal was, because I don't even think she was the main villain. I don't even think she was a villain because at some point she helped out the main character. So
Yeah,
I wouldn't be
yeah.
surprised
Yeah,
if they came out.
That's why I can sit here with confidence and say this story was kind of all over the place.
Hey, I definitely feel you on that. I wouldn't be surprised if they came out of nowhere saying, "Oh, that was actually your bigger sister."
Like I can agree with Leo.
You know what?
The story has potential to get better, but until I get another season, I just can't see that right now.
Or better yet, even maybe the way that they set it up, because you know the grandpa put himself into the game even though he was dead. Maybe the grandpa
True.
also was able to gather like someone else's information, like his mom, and put her in there, which is why but hey, it's a lot. It is a lot. Continuity definitely isn't there for me. I would have definitely liked to have seen it laid out a bit differently, but the foreshadowing in the beginning did sort of have me intrigued, especially seeing the fight scenes, but coming to understand all the aspects of that fight scene afterwards, it definitely left me with a lackluster attitude towards it. So yeah, there you have it, the Silver Guardian.
Its saving grace for me has to probably be the art and the music most of all.
Did slick.
I enjoyed the music quite a
The
lot.
opening and the ending was lit.
Everything else, like you said, it was pretty much lackluster.
Sometimes that's all you need for a trash anime to be good.
True.
What music?
Yeah.
Not if you can separate it. The fuck?
I feel like some of the more mundane stuff, like everyone knows the original Yu-Gi-Oh, because that's kind of like a classic. But some of the later iterations of it, it definitely they kept the scale of musicality and intros, but the substance sort of just got redundant at some
But they
point.
kind of remixed it, yeah.
No, it wasn't the same song. Of course they'll give each iteration like their own.
Oh, you're
thing.
talking about the other Yu-Gi-Ohs, not just...
like 5D.
Okay.
Or,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, none of that shit was like the first one. They started having singers and shit.
Looks like you got a fan.
Which I ain't gonna lie, I liked it pretty much all the openings. Even 5Ds, even though I ain't care for the show.
Yo, Suma, looks like you have an admirer. Someone is enjoying the your profile pic.
Sir.
But it's a Pokemon. What am I gonna do with my balls?
when he found out that money on his phone was actually real, that was a Mike Cakes moment right there. If I would have been the nigga that found out he threw away that phone, but sir, that shit was. Why would you do that?
Hell no.
I can't relate. I wish I had too many zeros to fit on the screen.
Yo, my man, that shit got mad because it didn't work. He threw the phone, bro, and he said, "Bro, you know that's right."
Nah. When bro was talking shit, trying him like he a broke ass nigga, like, damn, you expect this bitch to play? Like, he tried this nigga. That was one of those, like, this card better go through moments, right? It's gonna make or break me right here, man. That shit was funny as fuck. That nigga was talking big shit. You weak ass nigga, you ain't real. Da 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 da. Nah, fuck out of here, nigga.
I feel like
I buy your life.
the only real life scenario I can equate that to is when you fucking leave out the house, you go into the store, but you leave your wallet at home, but they accept Apple Pay.
Oh. Exactly. I don't even bring my wallet. I don't even have my wallet on me anymore, bro. Like dead ass.
Hey, did you guys accept Apple? Yes. We in there. Let's go.
Either that or Google Pay. So, Apple Pay, Google Pay. Goddamn.
I don't have that luxury. I still a little fucking boy, so I gotta keep my ID on me.
But overall, I would say definitely.
I mean, honestly, I still need my ID, but I really forgot about that. I still need my ID. I don't know why I just don't be bringing my wallet.
That's because you go to your regular corner store, nigga. You don't need one there. I go ID you, buddy. Hey.
Oh yeah. That damn. I
Same
was
old, same
just
old.
out though.
Once
That
you
too.
find
That
that
too.
store,
Though.
once you find that store,
Yeah, I definitely. Then again.
Once you find that store where they fuck with you, you don't need your ID no more. Hell, you barely need money.
That is a bar.
Well, I don't know about the last part. You definitely gonna need some money with the store.
No.
Nah,
He
you fuck
just
with
dropped the
them?
bar. He just dropped the bar.
Sometimes.
I'm
Those
being real
Indians
honest, bro. If you
don't
fuck
play
with
about
them,
their ducats.
if you fuck with them, they'll fuck with you, bro.
You must be around the last black corner store on earth. Those Indians do not play about their ducats.
Oh, you just don't got that type of finesse. Cause my mama definitely been finessing with the Indian dude at my
I'm
show.
about to say, bro, I can't tell you how many times I done walked out the store with Rellos and I ain't had no money.
I'm telling you, if you don't got no tab, you ain't that nigga.
Hallelujah.
Nigga, that's just called
Damn.
a 5-finger discount to me. Fuck that. I'm not paying that.
That again. I don't.
But you gotta go back.
There you go. There you go.
You gotta go back because that's your store.
Which is why I made the tab, but they didn't know I made the tab.
Tab. Yeah, it's like nigga, you better let me steal this shit. Stop playing.
Nigga, you got.
I spent too much bread.
Just walk out the door. I got it.
I just had
That
a
shit
homie
can't
talking,
open. Be like, hello.
I just had a homie telling me last night that shit was cracking me up. He was like, "No, I'm not the kind of person that'll just sneak and steal someone. Like, I'll rob you. I'm not finna sneak and steal something from you. Like, I'm not finna shuffle around. Oh, hey guys, and then just put some in my pocket. It's, hey, Brandon, this is mine." I'm like, what?
Well, damn.
He must be a GD. Cause that's the type of shit GDs be on. Like I heard them niggas say that. I'm not gonna steal it from you. I'm gonna just take that shit, bro, and deal with the real. I'm like, okay, I guess it's a little more admirable, I guess. You being real.
I like it, and I want you.
You know, this nigga must be Kimpachi Zaraki if he doing that shit, nigga.
This is mine now, nigga. I'm gonna just bully your shit.
No.
Not gonna steal it.
Be like, please resist.
Welcome to the live stream. Be sure to, put stuff in the comments if you want us to talk to you. We are here for you.
But I was about. Go ahead, bro.
Go ahead. I told you go ahead.
Oh, I was about to say I wanted to push back on something Nemo was saying about the show. I don't think the story is all over the place. I just think because of how the episodes were set up, that they just like would skip over information, bro.
See, this is
But
what
the story is pretty streamlined to me.
Let me say this. When I say it's all over the place, okay, so once they establish a certain part in the story, it's like boom, here's a new character for you. That shit is confusing as hell, bro. I'm sorry. When you just constantly adding in characters and you ain't really got to the basics of like the halfway point or like we coming towards the end of the story and you still adding in new characters, it's like, come on, bro.
Yeah, I agree on that because most of them characters I don't give a two flying fucks about.
That's what I'm
Like
saying.
I had no connection to most of
Half of
the characters in the series.
From the latter half of the first season to the second season, I didn't give a shit about the new characters that came in. I was too invested in the ones from the first half of the first season.
But you know what was weird? And I didn't get to finish the end of the second season. I was like 1-2 episodes before I finished it. But did the best friend in real life, homie best friend in real life, ever get in the game? Because they just kept on hitting at it like this nigga knows some shit that niggas don't know or something like that.
Yeah, he just fine for no reason. This nigga know everything. Always dropping sage advice.
Yeah.
Times.
I think he was just one of those characters.
It's like, hey, my nigga, I think she feeling you. You should hop on that.
He should have been the main character. He was low key like that nigga in school. Like had the holes and all. Like I don't know. But yeah, I just kept on waiting for him to enter the game because I just knew that he was gonna be on one of these evil organizations type shit. Like he was gonna be a player within that. But I don't know. He never showed up for real.
Yeah, I don't think we never got like a full scope of the anime. I feel like if they ever continue it, then he may be in there because ain't no point for him to show up that many times in the anime and he not be a part of the actual isekai elements of the anime when it's a isekai. But I would say a common trope with isekais is there's always plenty of characters that they have there that you just don't give a fuck about. It's just part of the territory. When you're in video games, there's always going to be NPCs or other shit. If you play Destiny, what we call blueberries or the unknowns. So I don't think that's too much of a problem. But would you really watch a video game anime that was a barren world with nobody in it but the main character and a few others? So welcome, Hollow. Is your audio up? I'll take that as a hell no. But does anybody else have any points they want to get out of their chest before we get into the actual reviewing aspect of this pod? Okay,
none
Cat.
for me.
Yo, so what did y'all already discuss? My bad. I thought I was same old, talking to nobody ass nigga. Well, what has already been said?
Pretty much talked about the whole anime at this point.
I mean, but if you have anything that you just is pressing that you want to talk about, bring it back up, man.
I mean, shit. The fact that they probably should have did this as a movie instead of an anime. I mean,
no response. What the fuck?
Rewatching this shit, I told myself, yeah, they definitely should have turned this into like a 3-part movie, bro.
Like, yeah, and then they've been able to flesh out a little bit more of the shit because
Slip might as well.
It felt like I was missing something every episode.
Who is that said they watched the playlist on YouTube, bro?
Yeah, that was me. But Cat posted it in the group chat, so I had to.
Yeah,
Yo, but
That was
that shit was like from when I guess after he had chased Shorty down on the bike and shit. The game world, which I didn't know if this was like him entering the game world himself because he was a Grand Guardian or some other shit, or was everybody getting into the world like that? Or were they just playing from their computers? And he was the only nigga that was like materializing in that bitch for real. I couldn't really understand that shit.
I was saying that
Um,
earlier. I was getting thrown off
gotcha.
by the fact that he'll be in the game world and then he'll be in the real world, but he'll always
Yeah,
be himself. Because like
right.
in the first game that was playing, he had an avatar.
Absolutely. Yep. Avatar, which
yeah,
was
that
just
shit was kind of
a no
weird. Like
armor
they
nigga with
they
a
character
helmet.
designs, in-game character designs was ass as fuck. Like only the villains had like actual cool looking fucking costumes on and shit. Everybody else looking like some bullshit, like
They're
regular
all
sniper
basic
shit.
create your character as.
Basic package.
I mean, the basic among basic facts.
Well, you know what? That makes sense because most of the bad guys were like the rich folks, and they made it a point that the rich folks had better stuff. And I thought that was a good point in the game that was like really kind of profound for them to bring up in like an anime back then. Because there are games nowadays called gacha game, and I played one of the gacha games. It's called Genshin Impact, but it's basically like games where if you spend more money, shit, you are
Yeah.
most likely doing better than everybody else. Like you could spend
I'm
like a
glad
little,
you
you
just
spend like a
brought
little
that shit up.
$20. You can spend a little $20 a month. Some folks, when a new character drop and a new weapon drop, they spending all the money it takes to roll the dice to get them new characters, them new weapons, to have the best stuff, to have it maxed out, and that's just how it is. It's just a blessing that this game ain't like a PvP, because then you would actually see that that money would make a difference, or that you just done spent every waking moment of your life playing this game to try to get where these folks that done spent the money are.
Yeah,
So yeah, I like how that was like highlighted in this game.
yeah, that was one like truth that they had that you can actually compare to the real world, because those type of games have definitely taken over the mobile game.
Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you spoke on that because that was my number one
Yo,
thing I was
but you know what
having a
was thing I
problem
ain't
with.
understand?
Hold
Did they
on, bro.
create
Can
their
you
own
hear me?
currency with the
Hello?
game?
Go ahead, Hollow.
I'm like, damn, man, he hear me or what? Like, but yeah, the whole gotcha, the perfect name, got your ass, because you gonna have to spend more money to win that motherfucker.
And
So
you
that
don't know
that
it's
is
set
a
up
great
that way
name.
until you download that shit. So they got your ass.
Facts. And so
And
like
the game be free as fuck.
right. You can play the freeway, you just gonna spend about, you know what I'm saying, 10,000 hours to get that one piece that dude spent $100 for. But if you're willing to put the time in, cool. And then like but that it's kind of like those play to earn crypto games now, where they have a high entry level to get into there, but after a while you can start to earn some residuals off of it, but it ain't really like equates to the money you put in that shit, because if you wasn't the first person to get in there, then oh well, you kind of fucked.
Most definitely. But I hate that type of video game, which is why I downloaded, and once I found it was set up like that, it's not even an actual game at that point, because you're not actually playing it, you just paying. Yeah, just more money grabs in this society. But one thing I would say this anime has mastered was the goddamn Dragon Ball Z level of cliffhangers. Maybe because the episodes were so short, but right when some shit was about to happen,
Get out.
Outro music.
Gotta get out of here.
But Kat, go ahead with your point you were trying to make earlier.
But I would say, did they create like a new like currency for the game? Because it was like they never explained how the actual money system worked. And did like where did all the bruh money come from out the blue?
His
You know what I'm
grandfather.
saying? So the grandpa just transferred everything out
That
of
was
his
his
bank.
inheritance. That was his inheritance.
Yeah, I think it was like a 1-to-1 ratio with like yen or whatever like main currency they had, because you know the more you pay, the more powerful you are, which is why you know he was the most powerful because he was a $1 billion player or whatever level that shit was. So his granddad was in debt, but it was kind of like he had all this money. How was he in debt? Because he put all his money in the game.
No. Let me ask this hypothetically: if I were to hack in that game and like make myself have millions of dollars and use it on what keep a hacker from doing that?
You would have to learn how to hack that unique system that they had, because you know they
You would have to learn how to hack a game that's already shut down.
they released like a brand new system to play that game on right before it came out. So at least for like as much as we saw into like from the beginning of the game to where we saw it, I don't think many hackers would have been able to do that unless you just about that life.
I mean, but there's always somebody. That's my thing. Like, I don't know. Like, it just seemed like someone could not easily, but if you were like that for real, like you could hack this game.
Well,
and
once
really
you start hacking and getting money, let me know, nigga. But keep that offline. Let's not put that on the pod.
Tap in. Tell them to tap in.
But yeah, bro, I gotta talk about the brother sister situation. But I don't know whether they were brothers or sisters. They were just poor as fuck. They trying to play the game to get money type shit. I fucked with that concept. That was a cool thing they did. That was like one of my more favorite little plot lines they ran.
I guess, but I probably would have enjoyed it more had the little brother got the money, the sister got better, and they both came back into the anime and show how badass the sister was, and the brother actually progressed. That would have been something I would have enjoyed to see a lot more than he just taking the money and getting the fuck out of Dodge. Like, all right, thanks, I'm out.
But I mean, at the same time, it was kind of par for the course.
But they got me involved enough to where I actually cared, bro. It was just like that was one of the side stories where I was just like, you know what? I like where they going with it.
I don't know if it's Mike or what.
I don't think he can actually hear your audio, Hollow.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't know what's going on, bro. His phone being all racist and shit towards my goddamn phone.
He was having audio troubles earlier, so.
Okay. Okay, but yeah, it's kind of like par for the course because you did have the other crew that they was following, who was just robbing motherfuckers for their money, and that shit was just it. You know what I'm saying? So that PvP element came into play on some setup. We gonna jump you and take all y'all money until we can stack this bitch up to the ceiling until bro ran into Shorty, and she was like, "Yeah, nigga, I got more money than you. That sword gonna work reverse on your ass." So everybody was out for self intentions in that game show. Like, I need to get rich. I need to make the money. I need to do this, that, and third. And bro was just trying to, I guess, guard some. I don't even know what his job was, to be honest with you. Like, yeah, it just needed more info for me. But I don't know. I did feel like a lot
what
of
happened to all the other Guardians.
Yeah, it was just two of them, just him and Shorty, and Shorty was more badass than he was.
But yeah, with that being said, I don't understand how they set him up so easily. Could they just not have left the game world when the group trapped him into the cage and just say, "Hey, give it up, or we gonna kill you"? But hey, it just leaves a lot of questions when an anime isn't as thorough as it can be, which, in my opinion, or at least in my ranking, would give it a lower score. If I don't have a full picture, it's not a complete story. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the reviews. Since Cat dropped off the face of the earth, the exact moment we were about to start, I'll kick it off. So, just make this short and sweet. I give it a 6.5. 6.5 out of 10. That it's the sort of middle of the ground anime. It has its good, it has its bad. I can't necessarily say that the good outweighs the bad, but I didn't hate watching the anime completely. There were some redeeming aspects of it. Okay, who's next?
Man, I'm gonna get that 5.5. Honestly, my only regret, I should have probably just not finished the whole fucking thing early on. This should have been the last thing I seen. I should have seen it today, actually. Should have just rewatched that shit. So go and give me another brief fucking.
But if you watch an anime and you forget it immediately afterwards, is it even worth watching? So, I mean, hey.
Nothing was.
5.5 makes sense to me.
I mean, I ain't going.
Granted, I think most of us is like watch it like at least part of the second season. So, maybe if you go back and watch that, that'll make you sort of, give it that little 1, 2, 3 points.
Yeah, and I understand. Brush said more in his grunts, and I don't know. Then the damn show gave us in clarity. Just to point that out.
Most definitely. All right, so who's next?
I'll go ahead and give it a 5.
I think I said in the beginning that if they really are planning to continue it, I give it a 9 because in spite of its flaws and in spite of everything I could clearly notice wrong with it, it had a strong setup and it left me wanting more. But if this is all it is, if this is all the plot is going to be, then I'd have to give it like a 6.5. But being honest, like off my initial look, since this was the first time of me seeing it, I did give it a 9 because it did have a strong start. It did have some elements I wanted to see finished. I was disappointed with not seeing certain things finished, but it ended on a cliffhanger and not just, okay, this is the end. So I didn't just completely give up on some of those things that I noticed that were wrong or not fully explained. So that's why, my impulse, my initial score is a 9.
Definitely understand that, and we're gonna give you the benefit of the doubt because you are the newest member of the U.N.I. So you haven't, been with us on this journey of watching all this other anime. I think at a certain point you're gonna get tired of people stringing you along and not finishing it.
Yeah, you haven't been animatedly scarred yet. So trust me, it's gonna happen though. But But with this, man, I'm a goddamn. I'm gonna go with like. I'm gonna go with a 5 too, man. Maybe like a 5.3. They did have me captivated. I did want more when I saw that they had a second season. I didn't watch it because I didn't want that to like really mess up my judgment for this one. Because it could have went worse depending on how they did that second season. Um, and yeah, it was just a lot of, like I said, just a lot of things that I felt was unanswered. Maybe it was. Maybe that's just how the story progressed, and that's just that type of anime or whatnot. But you know, beautiful intro, outro was pretty dope. But like everything in between is like, yeah, I feel like they kind of, I don't know. I liked it when he was playing the computer game, like it was dope. And then, like I said, they kind of fast tracked that second game. It seemed like it was kind of rushed to a degree. And so, but it was rushed, but it was on pace. If that makes any sense. I was like, okay.
But then they also just never gave a good enough explanation of why they had to cancel the first game and just go immediately into the second game.
Right.
You know, maybe that's something we'll learn later, maybe not.
Then the grandpa being like an after image in the game where he did the whole drop in like, what was that, like 2 minutes? The whole plot reveal of you're my grandson and there's evil people trying to get us, and all right, now I'm gone forever. It was like, damn. Okay.
Yeah, because I was wondering, because it was weird how he shut his game down and they had the new game, but he had already, he basically made the final stage for the new game.
Right. It was like, so like, did that little BlackBerry you had, was that like the ultimate version of the game or something like that? Because then he got to a point where it was like, nigga, you didn't even finish the tutorial level. So it was just like, how do you expect him to understand? But then they had the faction groups already set up, like ready doing shit. Like, oh yeah, this is the biggest faction in the game, and they've been doing this, that. I'm like, damn, didn't the game just come out? The fuck?
Yeah, but I think due to the fact that he was so scarred that they got rid of his favorite game, where he done met his dream girl in the game world, and you know he was all sad. And he probably
he didn't play it for a little bit, and they had time to like build up. Okay, I can go with that. Because they was like, you didn't know this is the biggest clan, and they warring with this other clan. I'm like, how the fuck we supposed to know that? Like, he just got in the game, like legit. But he got all the money, and he got the little gate guardian thing that was like two beings, but it was one being at the same time, but it could transform the other being. But it was still one being, but it had two souls in the one body.
That was interesting.
And it turned into a fucking dragon out of nowhere.
With two heads instead of one. You know?
This nigga had a blue eyes white dragon the whole time, and we didn't even know.
You know, I like the concept of the book. The book's abilities to just take pictures and get stronger, and then every time he would use something to get weaker. But it was just like, yo, you might want to take a little bit more pictures before you try to step into some shit like this. Like, you had no game plan for this at all, and it's by absolute sheer luck that you won this, which I'm fine with. But I thought that was an interesting abilities, and I want to see some more of those abilities and things fleshed out. Yeah, you know, from the ice mage to the ice warrior dude, then we had that, and then we had they had like that shit turned to like a sniper rifle. It was a sniper rifle one type of shit. I was like, okay, man. Hopefully I get to see more, but I don't think that's not the focus of the show. So I understand why they didn't really give me a lot of that. And then him at the beginning just doing all that extra fight shit. I'm like, okay, yeah, it's gonna be a journey because he came in the game operating his own pyramid Gundam type of thing with the 45 with the 30 no 45 in his hand, shot laser beams.
Hey,
That shit.
I ain't even gonna cap. When he came out with the Gundam and the Glock, I was like, all right, this anime got about 2 more episodes before I just hit the group be like, hey y'all, I'm sorry, this shit was some bullshit. I couldn't
Thanks.
because
I'm like, yo,
that's
what?
exactly how I ended up kicking Yasuke.
Oh, got you. Yasuke. Oh, we did a review on that bullshit too. Yeah, definitely. The whole mix and the fantasy, and it was like a bunch of elements. It was kind of giving me the proper terminology for the concrete effect. A whole bunch of elements rolled in one, but not executed properly. It was giving me some shit like that.
Was crazy because he got in the game, or he got in the new game world. Got like two different women. Got a harem. Got a Gundam. Got a Glock. Got his granddad back, and then lost all of that shit by the end of the fight. I was like, man, what
the But then come to think about it, like the way it was set up, like each boss that he would interact with had something else for him. So, you know, would he have even been able to take that Gundam from that stage somewhere else? So,
facts, yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't know.
It
was just like, damn, why would you give him this shit though? Like, this shit is kind of wild.
And they didn't even elaborate on his real powers. You know, he had like fucking Captain Planet, like fucking stars flying around him, and each one had different. He didn't even know what the fuck they did.
He ain't know nothing. He was just handed a juiced up ass account and was like, go crazy. And by default, you're so powerful that no matter what you do, you're gonna kind of win. So just have at it until you meet Shorty, who's actually an experienced player, and she busts you in your chest with a shotgun and send your ass back to the real world. So
overall,
something to be desired. Definitely leave something to be desired.
The drama was a little bit too much at times. I ain't gonna lie. For it to have been like a situation where like y'all die in the game and all right, well, I'll restart tomorrow. They was really dramatic about some of them deaths. I was like, man, if you don't turn your computer off and go to bed, you got school in the morning.
But at the same time, I don't know how much money them fools put into that shit for real. Like, you see a nigga just wipe out your $1,000 account on some humbug shit. I don't even think I'm returning back to that fucking game. I'm like, man, fuck this game. I'm like, there's no safeguard to that shit.
And get ready for your day job in the morning.
Right, exactly. Because I can't tell my wife that I just, put the house payment in the game and just lost it all. You know what I'm saying? My kids need food, and I just, I was kind of thirsty over these two little characters in the game. Might I add you, that I walked into a trap willingly. I was thirsty for avatars. Oh, she's pretty hot. This is just the avatar, bro. It's just the game. But you got cats that be on that type of shit, so that's why I'm like, to each his own.
And then wasn't it a nigga whose power was to pretty much make you force sign off that shit?
Well, he had the sword that was a big bank take little bank sword, and just for all intents and purposes.
No, there was somebody else that could actually make you log off the game, and it made the main character like banned for a week. He couldn't get back on.
Oh damn! See, I feel like I watched the show, but I didn't see that.
But yeah, I think that was something that was in the second season.
Oh, okay, all right.
So it showed you a little bit more like of the different types of powers.
Gotcha.
they're all over the place. But it's
So his powers was to give you a reality check and get your life together. I'm gonna ban you from the game for a week, so you could go get some exercise and shit, and just what I'm saying, live a normal life real quick, cause you need that shit.
pretty much.
Your room smells of
That nigga
goddamn
count names
musty
reality.
Mountain Dew.
But yeah, I feel like this was another isekai that just took elements from other popular isekais to try to make itself better. But the follow wasn't good. Like the best like equivalence I can give to it was if you guys ever watched the Boondocks and the episode where Riley was just crossing motherfuckers up in basketball, but he couldn't put the ball in the fucking hoop.
Definitely know what you're talking about.
This is
This nigga was fire as hell with the handles, but he just couldn't shoot.
Couldn't shoot for shit.
that's just how I feel from watching this. And for the record, if you guys are looking at the fucking promo picture on YouTube, no, he is not wearing a thong. That is not a mawashi. That is just the
I swear that was a blue thong, man. They put the thong over him. They put the logo over him
on the damn cover.
You know what I'm saying?
That is the logo.
And when I watched the show, I saw it was the emblem for the game, but the emblem for the game was like kind of tilted a little bit. It wasn't straight up like that. So I feel like they was trying to give us some thong work right there. I don't know. They could have slanted it.
Yeah, but so I guess it looks like I think Cat may have just died and he's not coming back. So
yeah, if the universe grants him to a second life, then maybe we'll get his scores. But
this nigga went into
until
the
then,
Guardian world and left our ass alone.
that's what it was, man. He was like, bro, I gotta go try to make some money real quick in one of these tournaments.
That's I gotta make this money by tomorrow type shit. But without further ado, next week's anime will be Leon's Choice. Oh, speak of the devil and he shall appear. Welcome back, King Cat.
What's good? What's good?
What's your score?
Ooh. This was a hard one for me to score because it wasn't so bad that it was like a complete hard watch, but it was a couple of times where I became extremely disinterested.
So what's the score?
But the animation was cool. Like I said, when they finally got to fighting, a lot of the fights were cool. Character designs were ass. I did like the fire scarf shit. That was a cool little item to have. I don't think I've ever seen nothing like that for real. That was dope. But like I say, I feel like everybody was saying, even though I didn't hear much, the story just wasn't developed enough. There wasn't enough time and attention to it to give the content a fair shake. But
so what's your score?
I want to say a 6.3.
Okay. I mean, but I guess it all depends on how you go into watching this anime. Because if you go into this anime thinking like, hey, this is gonna be like Power Rangers, because he was pretty much like a Power Ranger all the Power Rangers by himself, then it would make more sense how it could just be like episodic and doesn't have to be serialized. It's just something good to watch and something to waste your time on. Good versus evil, fight scene, next episode. But without further to do, next week's anime pick is picked by Leo, Degenerate Senpai, which is Higurashi.
When hoes cry.
When they cry.
Something like that.
Get out.
That being said, you have any things to tell people about before we close out in anticipation of this anime for next week, Leo?
It's definitely gonna be an interesting one for a watch. It's definitely not for the faint of heart, of course. It is with the title like When They Cry, you can kind of expect stuff to get kind of wild. I didn't really specify, to watch the older version or the newer version, but I was saying on Twitter earlier, I forgot who I was speaking with directly, but I was speaking with one of them directly, and I was saying that if we had all come in having watched different versions of When They Cry, it may actually make for a more interesting conversation, because in some ways you can consider the newest version of When They Cry a remake, but in a lot of ways you could see it as a sequel. And not watching the original When They Cry would not take away from your experience of the new version, but it would kind of, add more eyebrow raising moments. But it'll be something that everyone can enjoy regardless.
So I think Hollow went through and watched the first few minutes, and it started the same way. Are there just big differences between the original and the remake?
Towards the middle, and
Okay.
definitely towards the end.
Okay.
So for people watching, you could definitely they have the newer version on Hulu, if I'm not mistaken. I'm watching the old version right now. If I can make it through to the new version, I'll definitely give it a try. But I'm definitely excited to see. Yeah, we got an anime. I don't think we had an anime like this before, where it's the same thing but not quite. So I'm really interested to see what version everybody watches, so we get this conversation rolling.
All I'm gonna say is it could go either way with those type of story plot lines, to where it can just get redundant as hell and you be like, what the fuck? Or you can be like, oh, this is dope. Cause I always say the worst anime I ever watched in my life was like that. To where
Concrete Revolution?
No,
They only
never.
had one version.
No. This ain't even no joke, bro. This ain't even funny, bro. Concrete with shit. Concrete literally shits on fucking Amnesia, bro. If you ever watched Amnesia, if you watch Concrete and Amnesia and tell me
With a title
Concrete,
like Amnesia, you sound like you're going to go through a lot of repetitive type of situations right there.
and all of them is ass, and all of them the main character is weak as fuck.
There's a not to get too much off topic, but there's a movie that's really good that applies that amnesia concept. I can't remember which one it's called, but it's damn, what's the
Shorty shit. I don't even know if I want this for real.
You talking about the wellness, the sickness? The cure for wellness?
No. It's shorter than that, but it's like a cult classic. And Buddy has amnesia. He writes himself notes, and he always he forgets everything every day, so he has to look at the notes to see what happened. But it's called Memento. Came out in 2000.
I mean, if we're going like that, then the Notebook too, because the way that was written was, love letters that somebody wrote for someone else.
Oh yeah.
And you know, by the end, you realize that, oh, she doesn't remember any of this. She has dementia. So,
But yeah, that Memento is like a mystery thriller. It's really a cult classic because I mean everybody watches it. You know, it's one of those like undeniable movies. Came out in 2000. If you have a chance, go ahead and check that one out. You won't be disappointed for sure. But not taking away from Higurashi When They Cry at all. Definitely finish that one up. I'm excited from what I've already seen.
No, some in the kitchen.
okay. And with that being said, we are ready for next week. Any closing remarks, gentlemen?
No, I don't. The particular. Oh shit. Oh, yeah. So the
Drink lots of water, watch anime.
in the new adaptation, it's done. Oh, the first season, right?
There's a final season coming out.
Okay, there's the final season coming out.
Like, did somebody say something?
Yeah, the first the first version is complete. I believe it is 26 episodes.
Okay,
Just like the old version has 26 episodes.
bet that's all I needed to know. Preach.
Okay, and with that being said, you know, there you have it. Another episode of the U.N.I. Verse Anime Review Podcast. Like I always say, there are always good animes out there to watch. So you know, take some chances. You know, you'll never know what you might like.
This one wasn't one of them.
But the U.N.I. verse is constantly expanding, and if you know, the U.N.I. verse expands in the direction of this anime, and it gets another season, maybe it could be top tier. It could be right up there with Jujutsu Kaisen or Demon Slayer, or you know, since it is
talking about this one?
guy, maybe
You talking about this one?
yeah, maybe Sword Art Online.
You talking about this one, right? We talking about the same anime?
We talking about the same.
No, I think he was. No, I think he was trying to close out.
Oh.
Fuck all y'all niggas. Fuck all y'all niggas. But be sure to follow us on Twitter, the U.N.I. Verse 267. You never know if we may, you know, create a space and go live just talking about random anime shit or anything. Also follow our IG where we were posting, you know, just funny anime memes, you know, something to break up the monotony of your week until you can make it back here on Sunday to listen to niggas talk about shit. But there you have it, another episode, and we are out.
Peace.